Love is not just a feeling, love is also a commitment. You're not going to be always attracted to someone who is exactly the same as you. If that person leaves you because of your beliefs, they were not right for you anyway. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am filming a video on a topic that I never thought I would film, and that is on relationships. It's not something that I consider myself an expert on. I'm still learning, I'm still growing. But as I was thinking about what I've learned in my last probably 10 years of adult life about relationships, about a life partner, I thought that there were some lessons that I personally have learned that would be probably useful for many of you watching this video. My hope is that I'm able to shine some light into your lives. I'm able to give you some hope and also a lot of wisdom, because I think we all can do with a lot of wisdom in our lives, and especially when it comes to relationships. There are three things that are very important to look for when you're looking for a relationship or when you are looking to enter into a relationship or a marriage. The three things are chemistry, compatibility, and character. Now, the first thing is chemistry, and I think all of us know what that means. It is being attracted to someone, and most of us start with that. That's the initial thing that draws us to someone, or that's the initial thing that we look for. But many of us end over there, and that's what I feel that we need to avoid. Chemistry is good. You need to feel that attraction towards someone, you need to feel that connection. You can call it connection as well. Again, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and what you feel as connection or what you feel as attraction might not be the same for someone else, and so that's very, very personal to you and the other person. So that's what it starts with. The second thing is compatibility, and that's where it gets a little more deeper and more serious, figuring out whether the other person is compatible with you. I'm not talking about compatibility on a very surface level. I'm talking compatibility on a more deeper level, because surface level compatibility is just seeing, do you enjoy the same kind of music, do you enjoy the same kind of movies, do you enjoy the same kind of food, do you enjoy doing the same kind of activities. And I think though that's good if you find someone who is similar to you, I don't think that it is necessary to have someone who likes the same things as you do. And that's why they also say like opposites attract, because you're not going to be always attracted to someone who is exactly the same as you, because that's the fun in that. What I mean by compatibility is compatibility in the more important things in life, like your value system, your faith, what it is that makes you excited about life. What is your purpose? What gives you meaning? What are you passionate about? Compatibility in those aspects is more important than compatibility in what food you like, because it doesn't really matter if somebody likes Chinese food and somebody likes Indian food. You can still eat both foods. But when you have completely different compatibility in terms of value systems or faith or purpose or meaning, that's when you struggle when you get into a relationship or when you get married. And I think that understanding is very important when you're getting into a relationship, to understand what drives the other person and whether that same or similar thing is what is driving you. Recently, I watched an interview with Tim Tebow and his wife. One of the things that he said was, a great relationship is not based on what you have in common. A great relationship is based on what you have in purpose. He said that it makes probably dating easier, or conversation in the initial stages easier, when you have compatibility or some commonalities on things like where do you want to go, what do you want to do, what do you want to eat, what movie do you want to watch, what activities do you want to do together. But the harder things in life become significantly easier when you have a purpose that is more compatible with each other. I think it all comes down to asking the right questions in the initial stages and having those deep conversations in the initial stages. That's where many of us struggle, that's where many of us lack, because we feel that we have a lifetime to get to know people, so we focus on the little things. When life is good, everything is fine, it doesn't really matter. But when things get hard, that's when these value systems and this compatibility on a deeper level matters, because that's the difference between how you handle life and how they handle life, and whether that's going to clash with each other. Now, I understand that in most situations you can't know everything about a person, you won't know how they're going to react, but I think still having those conversations is very important, because you do get a glimpse of the other person when you talk about things that are important. When things get tough, when life gets tough, and life does get tough, that's a given. How does that other person react in that situation? How do they behave in that situation? What are they holding on to in that situation? All that matters. And for that, you really need to ask the tough questions in the beginning. I think a lot of us get carried away in the beginning stages of a relationship where we don't want to rock the boat. We think if we share our opinions or our convictions or our beliefs with someone in the beginning, they will end up leaving us. But if that person leaves you because of your beliefs, they were not right for you anyway. So that's how I think about it. And so have those conversations, talk things through, understand each other on a deeper level. I think that's very important before saying yes. The third thing to look for in a relationship, or before getting into a relationship, is to see the character of a person. There might be some overlap with compatibility, but this mostly focuses on the qualities of that person, and what are those qualities that you are looking for, and whether that person has those qualities. Is that person loyal? Is that person compassionate? Is that person a person with integrity? Does that person's yes mean yes and no mean no? Do they keep promises? Do they show empathy towards others? How do they treat people? These are things that we need to observe in a person before committing the rest of our life to that person. Character is a very important foundation. It also forms the basis of how we react in life. Now, I'm not saying everyone is perfect, but somebody who knows their weaknesses and is working on them is very different from someone who doesn't have any idea about their weaknesses and thinks they are perfect just the way they are. So if you meet somebody who has an issue with anger, and you know that that's a quality you don't want in a partner, but then you also know that this person is actively working on their anger issues and is seeking help or is doing the necessary things to make sure that it doesn't control their lives, then you can consider that person. But if you know someone who gets angry off the bat, and when you confront them with that issue, they say, that's just the way I am, that's a red flag. And we are very good at ignoring red flags. As humans, we tend to have what I call as love color glasses on when we meet somebody for the first time. That tends to blur out any red flags that might pop up in that other person, or about that other person, or about the relationship as well. But we completely ignore it, and the saying that love is blind is very true. But one of the YouTubers I follow, she encourages her friends and obviously her viewers to make a list of like non-negotiable characteristics that you want in a life partner, and to have that list with you, and to pull it out when you think you've met someone, or pull it out when you are going to say yes to a person. You might have told yourself a million times that I am not going to get married to someone with this trait, but when you are in love, you don't remember that at all. And forget remembering that. Even if the other person is showcasing that trait that you absolutely despise, you completely ignore it, or you say that no, they'll be fine, this is just a phase, they'll change, or I change them. And so you need to be very clear of what are the non-negotiables. Now, non-negotiables are obviously, again, not surface level stuff. It is not that this person should be so tall, or this person should be so fit, or this person should be good looking, what color hair they should have, or whether they should have hair or not have hair. These are things that I personally think that is very personal to different people. And also I believe that certain things can be negotiable. When I think back of the kind of person I wanted to spend life with, like 10 years back, I think one of the things was tall and broad shoulders. And now when I think about it, I'm like, does it really matter? So things change, but the non-negotiable things about how that person behaves with someone is very important. Now, one of the things that I have personally done, and I think I've never shared this with anyone, and I'm sharing this with you guys because you're special and I wanted to share what I've done in my life. I have this habit of writing letters to my future self. And one of the things I wrote to myself in 2015 was a letter to be opened before I say yes to someone in marriage. I opened it today just because I was thinking about this video and I thought, let's see what I wrote in that. This is the envelope, and on top of that it says, open on the year when you get into a relationship or before you get married. It's important to think clearly about love. Even then I knew that, especially me, and I think all of us, we have the tendency to look at the other person, look at the relationship through these love-colored glasses, which are very forgiving of a lot of things. And though love should be forgiving and though love should be gracious and kind, we also need to be careful about who we are committing the rest of our lives to, because it's the rest of our lives. On the last 2 pages, I have actually written my list of non-negotiables, and when I look at it, it's definitely character traits. It's not how the person looks, it's more of who they are. I would really encourage you to take this time to put down clearly what are the non-negotiables that you are looking for in a person you can spend the rest of your life with. Once you do that, it's very easy to go back to that moment and have those love-colored glasses removed and be very clear and see very clearly of, this is what I need, this is what this person is, and will it work? Again, I just want to reiterate that nobody is perfect, but it all comes down to who is actively trying to improve themselves, who is actively trying to build their character to become better individuals. If somebody is stagnant, if somebody thinks they have done it all and have become all that they can be, and if somebody is lazy, if somebody is just not driven, those are red flags, and those are something we need to pay attention to and not be swept up in the moment and think that love is going to carry us through, because love is not just a feeling, love is also a commitment, and it is the commitment that carries you through life. So thank you for your time, thank you for watching this video. If you like the content of this video, please like this video and subscribe as well, and press the bell icon because that will give you notifications of videos that are going to come up. See you in my next video.